Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you how I made the Batman who laughs this like half mask, and I did get a request on making this one or showing how I make it, so I will be showing it to you. Now this is really old, the video clips, so they might look really bad. So sorry for that. I didn't even know that I have these videos still, so I did dig them up on my hard drive to see do I still have these, and I did. And this is like really old because I still have my OnePlus phone, and after that I have had the 2021 I did buy a new phone, so this is kinda old, and also I still have my glasses and everything, so it's old. Anyways, I'll be starting the mask by making these, and I made the teeth like with the polymer plastic, and I'm showing you how I made the teeth for the Joker 52, but I made the Batman's teeth same time since I made this mask at the same year. And then I will be mixing the liquid latex and flowers. Just mix them well. Mine is a little bit bumpy since these are still kind of like the first masks that I made, so I didn't really know how to make them. So these videos aren't like I would make things a bit differently this time. And the person who requested this video probably have watched my other videos too on my classes that I made. On my course that I made. So just trying to like watch those videos and then watch this video and then think about it more like the videos that you have watched, and then kind of like make it a bit better than I did this mask. So I did put the liquid latex paste on the upper and bottom side, just slapped it on, and I didn't really clean it up, just smoothen it out a bit with the liquid latex, bare liquid latex, and then applied the teeth on its place, and then started like making the gum shapes onto the mouth. I didn't put any foils or anything under the teeth. Normally I do like to lift them up these days so they would look a bit more natural, because now when I make this and then the Joker 52, the smiles are a bit like flat, which I don't really that much enjoy, because like if you would put a foil and a bit under the mouthpiece, it would become like a bit more carved and natural looking, and these are a bit like flat on the face, so I would recommend doing that if you make this mask. I will be also shaping the gum parts with this rounded tool, but these days I only use the spatula since I find it the best tool to use, but like always you can use the tool that you like or feel the most comfortable and you feel like you get the best shapes. Also, since this Batman's chin will be big, or not big, but like since the smile is taking over our whole face, like lower, we need to make a bigger chin. And I actually made this one mask that I wasn't happy. So I did cut away the chin part of that mask and just slapped it on top of the liquid latex to make it bigger. Normally I would just grow it out here while making this mask, like just with the liquid latex paste, so you don't need like any separate chin piece. I just did have that one before I throw it away, so I was like, I just gonna use this old mask. But of course you don't probably have anything like that pieces just laying around, so you can just make it bigger while you are making the mask and just maybe pull it up in a couple of days. Anyways, I mixed the liquid latex paste and then started to apply it on the face, and I'm trying to shape the lips also. Sides of the face I just tried to make it like smooth because there will be like wrinkles and I will be applying them on when this is dried. so just somewhat smooth the sides. And also I would normally these days make maybe like the upper lip first and then the bottom lip. Now I'm kind of making like halfway, like upper and the bottom, but I would maybe just make first the up and then the bottom. And also I did mix really little amounts of liquid latex paste, so I couldn't even like, it's not enough, so I would just mix a bit more so I could do it at one time. Of course, depending what liquid latex you use on the mix. So if you use like the Cryolan and like the SFX liquid latex, it will dry really fast, so you are probably not gonna able to do the whole lips at the same go. But if you use like cosplay shops or some like these mask making like liquid latexes on these kind of purposes, they will dry a lot slower, so you have more working time and you can mix it more of the paste and add like liquid latex if it feels like it's gonna get too thick, so just apply a little bit on the liquid latex on there and mix it and you can still use it. For the lips I just shaped them. They didn't turn out the best, just trying to shape them with my fingers, and also I'm using the spatula. Making the lip shapes or any kind of shapes takes kind of a long time when you are working with the liquid latex paste, so just be patient and just kind of like move it around up and backwards like, and smooth it out while you go. And for the lips you want it to have like rounded shape and not like block shapes. And you have time if you have the mold making kind of like liquid latexes, so you have time to work on those. For this mask I kind of made it to end under my eye, like under my eye bags, because I don't want them to be on the way. And for the nose piece I did continue it like as well, like under the eye height, and I will be making a hole under the nose so I can actually breathe. But it is kind of cool that there is like some sort of kind of like strap or the liquid latex a bit higher up, like on the nose bridge, so it then if you glue this on it is like easier to hold. And also I will be gluing on the leathery nose piece, or where the spikes and everything goes, so I will be gluing that on into the mask, so just have some sort of like space or like higher up on the nose area also. But just don't make it to cover your eyes and just end it where your eyes would go. And you can of course make it longer and then cut it with your scissors to go on the place that you want later on. So for the Batman Who Laughs I actually made a outfit, like I made the jacket for this guy and the spikes on the head and the leather helmet, that is actually on the trash can, so I don't have that one. And then did I say the spikes? I don't have clips on how I made even the nose piece or the spikes or the jacket, so I only have this part where I make the mask filmed. When all of the lips were dried, I then continued and made the chin part and then made the side wrinkles for the cheek or the smile, and I made also a bit like bigger still the chin. Just always trying to apply the chin there, because then these masks look kind of ridiculous when some of the mask has these big mouth, but then you don't have the chin, so you need to build up the chin onto your mask. Now the clips aren't going to be the perfect ones when I start painting this, and they're really horrible, so you cannot really see what I'm doing, so I'm really sorry about that. But I hope this video helps you to create your own Batman Who Laughs mask. To paint the mask, I will be using the turpentine, half and half, like mixed with the rubber cement, and then applying oil paints to get the skin colored base. I think I should have done it maybe a bit more whiter and a bit more purpley, like already, or like pale grays, more deadlier tone than this skin colored. It turned out actually like almost like my skin color when mixing the oil paints, but yeah, I wasn't really happy about the coloring, but because it's the base color, it doesn't really like that much matter. But if I would do it now, I would rather try to get it more lighter shade. And the painting part for this will be kind of horrible. I painted this at my balcony floor, and the sun is setting so soon you cannot really see anything since the sun will hit on the balcony and the clips are going to be horrible. But I will be kind of splattering the paints all over it. So on top of the skin colored one, I started to apply more like white, mixed white and black to get gray, mixed the burgundy or the red color with blue one to get a purple, and applied also the blue like vein color, that like turquoise color, and just applied all those colors when splattering technique or using like splattering. I did use this kind of bad brush for the splattering, so I didn't have the bigger brush. I would use maybe like those brushes that you use on walls, like the tiniest wall painting brushes, those that has a longer bristles and they are like more flimsy, so it is easier to do this. And the paints are the alcohol activated paint Skin Illustrator palette. I also had the Ben Nye's Tooth FX palette. I didn't use it that much on when making this, and I'm not really fan of the Ben Nye's Tooth FX palette. Like the colors aren't as great as the Skin Illustrator ones. So I have the primary and then the Fleshtone palette for these ones, and normally these days I use also the Necromania palette for my characters, but these two palettes I do recommend purchasing for everything that you make, for like if you want to use them on your body also. These are really great ones. Of course, if your like skin tone isn't as pale as mine or like mid-tone, then I would recommend getting more like deeper shades, but this is great for like my skin tones, like the Fleshtone palette. And you need 99% alcohol to activate the paint. Also, I would have somewhere close some paper that if you spatter or get like huge chunk or like watery chunk on top of it, you can like tap the paint out from the mask. So I started making this mask in 2020, and then I continued it at 2021, and on 2022 I actually made it. So there was like 2-year gap when I started and then when I actually made the whole thing. There's actually really many things that I have started doing like 4 years ago and I still have not finished, like Silent Hill Pyramid Head. So I will one day make that happen. But I don't really have that much time on when I'm working and to actually create these things. I have my courses that I made. I did spend 4 months, 3 to 4 months on creating the course on how to make masks. So I made the face cast, head casting, or the things that I use when making the mask. And I did make 4 masks, which I made those like after work always and use it my holiday to voice over them and to spend it the whole time. I didn't really do any face paints or anything. I didn't have time to basically do anything, and I was working that on like after work until night every day. And it is up, but you cannot register there now, and it will be coming back on June or July. So if you are interested in my course on how to make masks, where I explain it a bit more, I hope it is good to people to understand. And yeah, they will be up to purchase later on also, if you didn't know that I have such a thing. After I did some base work or got it more textured or look like more skin looking with all the different colors, I started adding kind of like shadings on all the wrinkles, with just first the brown one and lightly applied those ones. I will be applying them also with a black and the purple colors to add more like deadlier color, and then make the mask to look a bit more like whiter shade, so it wouldn't be the skin colored. But I don't think you can actually see that on my clips, so just telling you now. But I tried to apply more like shadows first with the lighter brown shades and kind of like shade them out, and then apply on top of them the purples, and then the like deepen the colors and darken them out. Also lined the lips. I did paint the lips just with the alcohol activated, like those red shades, and I did paint them first a bit too bright red colored. I did change them later on to be darker red. I would maybe recommend using some other paint for the lips, maybe like some flexi paints to get the lip color, because I feel like with the alcohol activated paint it is really hard to get it like that pigmented onto the lip, and also to get it like exactly the color that you want, so it would be like as pigmented in like through the whole lip area, like that it would be same colored. And also after applying the lip color, I will be applying more the shadows then onto the mask at later on, and you can see on the other side a little bit of the deeper shadowings already that I have applied, but not on the other side. When the mask was kind of almost done, I started painting the teeth. I will be fully applying the yellow color onto the teeth area and just kind of like everywhere apply that one. And then to go on to the gums, I will be first applying the coral adjuster color onto the gum area, and then I will be starting to deepen the colors with the red ones, but still like between every teeth applying darker shade, and of course where the lips are, like deeper shadows in there, and then more highlight on the middle of the gum area and like towards the teeth to have it more highlighted. And then going also with the black one, also lining the teeth with the black one, but not like that much, still leaving the highlight part in the middle. And you can go back, like after the applying the black one, you can go with the red one and kind of like blend the black one out a bit more if it looks too pigmented. With the teeth, I always like to stripe the teeth out. So normally these days I use a lot like smaller brush to do this, but still I will be striping them. So I will go over with a brown one and kind of like stripe the root, like where the teeth is coming, and then striping the whole teeth out. I will be also applying more different colors to darken them, and then lastly using white to stripe like white on top of them to make them look more natural looking than not just like one colored and look like more rotten teeth. Of course, depends what kind of teeth you wanna make, then make those kind of ones, but I recommend like striping those teeth out with different kind of colors that you want to add, and then leaving like the edges and then the root area to be the darkest to make them look more normal. Lastly, I will be applying details with the black paint and lining the lips and applying more of the black colors on the darkest parts of the shadows of the mask. And it is not as pale as I would have liked to, but it turned out kind of good looking. The one front teeth is actually glued on like overlapping each other. I don't know what happened. Why did I apply it there? Like, why didn't I check? I also always recommend applying when you glue the teeth back onto the mask to glue them first in the middle, like start on the middle teeth and then continue doing the side teeth, so you can have the first like middle teeth lined up and straight. Because if you start at the sides and continue making like right to left, applying them, the teeth might not come the way you wanted. And then when it's like super glued on the teeth, it is really hard to get them out from the latex and it might rip off the latex. So just apply the first front teeth on the mask first. So when I was happy with the mask, I will be top coating it with the matte no tack, like the skin part, and then gloss no tack on the teeth and on the gum area. And this wraps up my mask, and I will go to future self to show the mask when it is ready. So here is the mask, a bit dusty, but how it looks like. I kind of hate when the one front teeth is kind of like sideways, like I don't think I glued them like right. So now they are like on top of each other, these teeth, so I kind of don't like it. And if I would make it better, I think I would try to make the smile a bit more carved, so it's not like this flat on the face. So apply like foil inside before making the mouth pasting, so they would be like a bit like lifted up as the teeth really are. Also there is a then hole so I can breathe under my nose. Basically if you have this you can't really see anything. I have only taped it. So the spike piece is made with the EVA foam, and then these are just paper. You can see like the paper, I have rolled it to spikes, like make a spike pattern and then just roll it to make the spikes and then hot glued them onto the EVA foam. And the ear pieces are like EVA foam also. They're not so great, but yeah, and then made cuts on it. And basically you can't really see when you use this, which is, I don't know, need some solution if you would want to wear it for longer time. These are so dusty, but this is basically the headpiece. So I technically glued this EVA foam leather piece straight onto the nose, so it holds in its like right form and right shape. So the nose piece is like EVA foam, and I have made cuts on the sides of the nose so it kind of like bends like this. So like 3 cuts, like the middle one on the inner sides and then the 2 side pieces kind of like front side the cut to make it bend like this way. And then it's just like really flexible leather, like, or stretchy like fake leather. And on the inside I did actually hot glue there before, like iron wire to hold the nose piece, but then I was like, why just not glue it on to the mask? So now it's like glued on the mask, and it's not glued on the like cheek piece, and on the nose you can see there like the hole. And I never made the insides really look that great, so it looks kind of horrible, but yeah, it's kind of like glued like that. And when you have the mask, you can kind of slap it on, glue it onto your face, blend it into your skin if needed. I don't think I did any of that. I just applied a thread to go through like the, what did I don't know how I did. I think yeah, something like that. And yeah. And the eyepieces just taps under the eye so they don't bring any like discomfort. And then you can also breathe. And here's a hole anyways, tiny, so you can breathe kind of good with this mask. Only thing is that the spiked, like the eyepiece, like you can see when you put it here, of course you can see like under, like downwards, but you can see straight. So that is kind of bad. Only when you take photos or some videos you can just be with it. And anyways, it's like fine because you can then look at your phone and just see when there's the holes like underneath, so you know what you are filming or taking photos, but you can like see straight. Only bad thing. But anyways, I hope this helped.
No, I don't want to do that.
You're going to have a great time.
No.
You might meet some new people.
No.
You'll even make some new friends.
No.